Okay, and just quickly, I just wanted to say welcome everybody to today's presentation. Glad you're here. And I wanted to welcome our guest speaker today, Shaye Belanger from Full Circle Immigrant Services. We're happy to have you here, and I will hand it over to you to take the rest over. And yeah, feel free, everybody, put yourself your introduction, sorry, in the chat, or feel free if it's easier and you want to introduce yourselves, go ahead and introduce yourselves too.
Okay, so first things first, download the little booklet there that I put into there. It will be an action booklet for you to do later, so it's not just me presenting and then you leaving and being like, that was a lot of information. Back to my job, back to my business, back to the things I have to do. So it's kind of a takeaway so that you're able to not just listen and leave, because I know I do that a lot and then I don't action anything. So question, can you see the meeting chat in this presentation right now? Can you
Yeah,
see it on your screen?
I can see it. Can everybody see it? The chat?
Okay, so you
Yeah.
can. Okay. So I usually use MS Teams, everyone, so just bear with me as we go along here. So thanks a lot for coming on this Wednesday. From wherever you are in Canada. I know that Peril has expanded now to many, many places. So who knows what time it is where you are, but thanks for making the time to come. So presentation today is looking at leveling up your professional networks for impact in your business. So a little bit about me. Next. Wow. Okay, sorry about that. So my name is Shaye Belanger. I'm the founder of Full Circle Immigrant Services. So I've been in business for about 4 years now, going on 5. I'm also a registered Canadian immigration consultant and a certified career development practitioner. So I currently do my business part-time, so I know how that can be busy if you're also working. So I work as well as a international student advisor in Ottawa at Carleton University. So I also used to work at Peril for about 2 years being a business growth advisor. So I've learned some stuff as I've gone along and worked with Lori, and I know Kayla's in the presentation as well. And it was a really, really good experience. So you're in good hands at Peril, I know firsthand. So what we're going to talk about today is just the introduction to the session, some top LinkedIn tips, connecting with some decision makers, business owners, and future mentors, professional networking opportunities. And then we're going to, I think, just stay in our group because there's 8, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do in the small group activity. So just a little introduction to the session. What I'm going to do now is stop sharing and then share again with my so can everybody see my LinkedIn now?
Yep, we can see it.
We can see it. You're good?
Yep.
All is well? Okay, lovely. So we're just going to go through a little bit of my LinkedIn and how I got to be connected with 6,000 people. So some of the information that I'm going to give you today is about being a part of the LinkedIn network. If you haven't already, get on it. I do not have a business LinkedIn. It is my personal, but as you can see, you can put your website directly on there. I've opened my LinkedIn to be a content creator at this time. So you can do that from the back end. So it's not just going through and it's a different way. So you can be like kind of known more. I've also recently been contacted to start building articles on LinkedIn. So I recently have done that, and it's really interesting to be connected to the community. And LinkedIn is free, right? You don't have to pay premium. You can just go ahead and get on there and start connecting with people. There is a so my backdrop is actually my vision board. So I'm putting myself out there as to some of the things that I'm interested in. So people start to get to know me right away. and kind of look at what I enjoy and some of the things that matter to me, essentially. So they already kind of feel connected. A lot of people under my name put what their job is, what their business is. I want people to be engaged in a different way where maybe they connect themselves with what I'm doing. So maybe that person works in settlement, which is helping newcomers settle in Canada, or maybe they're a career coach themselves. So like, oh, this person I have, some connections with what they're doing. So there are options to pull different things that you talk about with the taglines. That is also helpful for when people are looking up different tags, things that are being tagged. So I'm going to open up one of the posts that really made a big difference in me and finishing my immigration consulting to then move to actually opening my business. So it took 9 months to do it, and it was a lot of busy work. So as you can see there, I put in a hook sentence at the top to get people involved. And then I'm being authentic within it, sharing that I've passed this exam, and then I'll be a practicing consultant, and then kind of putting in motivational. So small steps do get you places. People are often wanting to do things, but then don't actually start them, right? They're just thinking, oh, this would be a good course to take, or I should go to this, or so on and so forth. So it's taking action. And then I'm just saying how much it took me to work, and then people who have also helped me, then some taglines. So this post itself got over 10,000 views for free. So that also got me a lot of people that were connected in my network then. And when you're connecting with people, like for your business, essentially, what I've done over time is I've added in people who work in the settlement sector, lawyers, other RCICs, newcomers. So when I'm posting things, people are interested and they get engaged in what it is. I often post a lot of job fairs as well. So let's say in your, like with my business, I do career consulting. And then I also do some settlement services. So make sure that what you're posting, your audience is going to be interested in. So for example, one of the things that I started doing as time has gone on, I think I've had LinkedIn for like 10 years. When I attend an event such as this one, if somebody has their full name while I'm listening to the event and grasping the knowledge, I'll look up people on LinkedIn and I'll say, hi, I noticed, because usually you can see people's pictures. I noticed that you're also in this webinar. I'd love to stay connected with people in the sector. I look forward to your posts. So it's not just adding somebody because you've seen something, they're actually making an effort to talk to them. I've had people be like, oh, thanks so much. We should have tea or we should have coffee. And I'm like, perfect connection. I haven't asked for anything, but I've put myself out there as well as to why I want to connect. There's been various things that have happened for my business in this instance. I had a lady connect me with me from Charity Village. I was on an event with her and I connected with her. And she messaged me one day asking me if I wanted to write an article. And I was like, inquiring mind, want to know. I'm not sure exactly what you want me to do, but let's have a chat about it. So she connected me with Talent Egg, which is students finishing school and then being able to it's just for students who finish school. It's a job board for that and a website. Never heard of it. So I said, sure, you can pass me on to them. So I didn't do anything. I was just connected by that lady because she saw my profile. I do put a lot of time into doing it, but it's like Facebook for business people, basically, for professional people. So if you think about it in that instance, it's to grow your network, just like it's to stay in contact with your friends and family. This is the same type of thing, but not as time consuming. So with that instance of this, then I asked her if I could meet because I wanted to say thank you, which is a big important thing as well when you're networking and reaching out to people in the community. So when you talk to them, it's not just you, right? It's not just what you need, essentially. So now I've written an article for Charity Village that has 100,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be publishing March 5th. So watch out for that if you're connected with any of those things. But it's overwhelming. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I wrote the article and I was like, first article, no idea what I'm doing. And it's basically was just me. And I'm an authentic person. I'm not putting in numbers. I'm not saying blah blah blah. Basically, my article is about um looking at the whole person in their career journey. So I've had immigrant newcomers especially have a harder time with they come and then they're discouraged. So I talk a little bit about how you have to look at the whole person and their emotions and how they are dealing with things physically and socially, and do they have a support network? It's not just about getting a job. So I kind of talked a little bit about that and how I've helped people in the past. So it's an exciting thing. It didn't take me a lot of time to get connected and to get that opportunity. I also have had people reach out to me from overseas. So if you're looking to expand your business to other parts of the world, there was an immigration consultant organization from India who contacted me, and we've been in contact for like 4 years. And he wants to send me all his PR people to help them do career stuff. So PR means when a newcomer is able to come to Canada with a permanent residency. So they haven't gotten here yet, but they've got approved. So I would be helping them with doing career services and settlement services when they come to, well, even before they come to Canada. So that's a connection. I don't really have to do anything. So it's putting yourself out there and being open and available to those things as well. So let's see here. Another thing is, um, so yeah, this is just your information essentially and what you do. Make sure that you're putting, like for instance, how can I help you? Don't make it long sentences. Like if you're putting in things, just make it so that it's to the point, like, and putting like, what do we do? How can we help? Like just easy things so people can connect with that and not have to read a whole bunch of stuff. Another thing that I have as well is all my training and certificates that I have. So maybe you have some, you're doing a food service business and you have this certificate and you're ranked this number, or you've had a business partnership with these people, like highlighting the high level things that you've also done. Any volunteer work I've done. So maybe you want to put in there how you've helped your community with different things that they have that's you're passionate about. So in these instances as well, when people's looking at your LinkedIn, they can connect to, let's say you know you gave back to your community at the food bank because you do food services and that's your business. Well, maybe somebody else is really passionate about that. So they'll reach out to you because they connect with you on that level. They have something they can see that they can talk about. So I also have uh, over 75 recommendations. So when I help people and they seem really impressed, I ask them if they'll write me a testimonial and then I send it over to them, or if I've worked with them over like a whole year. Like I recently had a mentor and I asked her if she would write one. That's the latest one that I have. So she was my mentor for a year and she's a manager at one of the organizations. So if you have a really good partnership with a nonprofit who you work with, or another business, or just a colleague that you work with at your business, so those are things that you can actually get connected with people in those ways. And I know that people have also reached out to me because of this, because of other people and what they have to say about me. It's not just me saying things about me, it's other people who've experienced. So I have people I've mentored, people I've worked with, people who've mentored me, some stuff from my career business, some stuff from my previous work, people who've given. So it's a plethora of information about kind of like who I am. So that's a brief overview of LinkedIn and kind of some of the things that have happened. I've also got reached out for like 3 job positions in different colleges and universities in this instance as well. So I know that's kind of job based, but there could be anything can happen to you. It's kind of what I'm saying, because you're putting yourself out there and you're able to connect on a free platform where you have access to people quickly that maybe you wouldn't have known. So, also something that you can do is connect with different groups on LinkedIn. That's a really big thing too, because people often post. So I find that I don't have to go in the news. I don't have to look for the latest stuff. So if you're following people in business, if you're following apparel, for example, you'll know what's going on. I don't have to go look for things. It just comes to me because I have this LinkedIn and I can scroll on through like we waste time doing on every other platform, basically like Instagram and TikTok and whatever else is going on. So it's kind of taking that and um, using those things to your advantage. So that's a little bit about um, that adventure. Uh, so okay, here we are, back to the presentation. So looking at business networking, so you're creating opportunities for yourself to network, mentor, go to workshops, conferences, and events that you can take part in. And you can boost your profile and expand your partnerships within your professional networks, as you mentioned. You can network anywhere, literally. You can network in a coffee shop line and be like, hi, how are you? You know, and somebody can connect you with somebody else, or maybe you just get to know something that you didn't know. So it's also like stepping out of your comfort zone to some instance, which I know is not always the easiest things to do. So looking at business networking, it helps you to market. As I mentioned about being in your community, you can help other people, you can grow your business, you create lasting relationships. So you talk about your interests, you interact with people, there's many opportunities, you gain knowledge. It's informal, but also formal at some instances, because as you create a partnership, you build a longer bond with somebody, maybe more on a personal level too. We all know people who are in our cheerleading that we meet and they're really cheering us on. So take hold of those people and work together with them. You learn a lot through business networking. You network with your customers and look at strategies to be successful. So those are some of the things that you can think about when you're business networking, how it's going to be affecting you. So as mentioned, looking at long-lasting relationships, not short-term transactions. It's a fancy word for relationship building, really. And you should care about people, not just what they can do for you. So I always go into something is in meetings and thinking, how can I help this person? What can I do to help this person? Who can I connect them with? What links can I give them that's a website that's, needed maybe for them. For instance, I met with a lady who used to be my client at Carol, but now she's doing immigrant entrepreneur services, and I offered to volunteer at a networking event that she has. So I'm going to sit at the front booth registering people. So I'm going to see people face to face. I'm going to get to know their names. Sometimes if they're free of sharing their information, I'll ask for the spreadsheet and I'll go on LinkedIn after and say, hi, I met you at da 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 da. I'd love to stay connected and see your posts. It's time. That moment, those moments are time, but then it leads to other people adding you without having to do the time thing. And then after, if there's somebody that you met that you think would be good to connect with, this is your opening. So yeah, it's giving before you kind of get something. When I was done with my mentor that I just had the last year, I actually sent her a note in the mail all the way to Calgary to say thanks with like these little cards in there with like positive quotes. So it's the little things later. If I ever move out there and I'm like, hey, I'm here, do you have any jobs for me? Or in that instance too, she's a settlement service and works at one of the universities. So she helps international students settle. So if I ever went out there with my business, I could reach out to her too. Do you need any presentations? Things like that. So talking about follow-up before as well. And also being your authentic self. Don't feel phony or fake or be phony or fake or because the people who you're supposed to be connected with, you will, if you are your authentic self. You'll really feel that connection with them. So there's different face-to-face meetings, local business groups. So looking at business seminars that you're going to, like today, for instance, different networking groups. that are available. So if you're in a payroll circle, for instance, that might be something where you're in a networking group and you're supporting each other. So also professional associations, maybe you have, your I know I'm using food service, but that's coming to an mind. Maybe if you went to school for food service and there is an organization that is a governing body. Like for me, for instance, we have the College of Registered Immigration Consultants. So that also gives me some credibility when I'm talking to you as well. Also, you can expand knowledge, gain some different viewpoints from experience from others. For instance, if you want to export your products, you could get some valuable information from someone else who has done the business internationally. So you're not reinventing the wheel. You're not taking all this extra time doing research and so on and so forth to be able to do that. And then programs like Paro, they have the one where you learn some stuff about exporting and importing as well. So take advantage of those so that you are not wasting a bunch of your time. Not having so many results as you kind of like to. It also builds your confidence and then it keeps you competitive. Okay, yeah. So looking at the market, the marketing methods that you can do, you can reach decision makers as mentioned, which might otherwise be very difficult to engage with in conventional ways by using advertising methods, but also LinkedIn. You could look at somebody who does your business and reach out to them and ask for an informational interview where you can just meet and have coffee and get to know about how they got where they are and training they might have took. And people are open to talking about themselves. They like talking about themselves. It also keeps you in with the latest trends in technology as well. Identifies partnerships, having joint ventures, maybe for businesses where you can refer to each other, how you can expand. As mentioned before, it's like, don't reinvent the wheel. You can get experiences from others and then learn from any mistakes. So here's some of the places that you can go to network. There is on Facebook, for instance, there's a group that is Ladies Who Lunch in Ottawa. So you might think, no, this is just a personal thing, but no, there is groups like Paro too, they have one. But this Ladies Who Lunch in Ottawa has 26,000 members. So some days they're just like, hey, post your business and what you offer. And then people are buying from each other as well and just helping each other. People ask questions, people connect that way. So it might be an unconventional way of doing that, but it would be a good way to get connected. So Toastmasters International is an organization that helps you with leadership skills, professional networking, public speaking, and they have it everywhere. There's multiple ones in Ottawa that I know and all over Ontario and Canada. So I'm kind of giving networking that everybody can look into. There's not specific to one like area of Canada, but you can look into that and see. And you'll meet people from different sectors. So maybe there's an opportunity where there's somebody who works at the government and you provide some consulting service and they work in a certain part like D&D, for instance, and they need a consultant. You don't know, you can meet people, you don't know what's going to happen. So this one, BNI, is Business Networking International as well. So they are one of the largest referral networks where you refer to each other. So they're also international. They also have in-person events and things like that as well. So there's the Ontario Business Improvement Area Association. I put in Ontario because I couldn't find for Canada, but there's British Columbia and Alberta. You can look up those two if you live somewhere else. So that's an organization. If you have your business within the small city center or just the city center downtown, essentially in your city, you can be a part of the Business Improvement Association, and they do community events. They hold open houses for new businesses that are opening. They have a newsletter that they share around within the community. They'll help to promote your business. And it's a way to just connect with other business owners in the community and see how we can help each other. As well as that person at the BIA would be somebody that you can pick their brain because they know what's going on in this community because they're connected with everyone. So you might, be able to say, I need help with, sourcing some avocados for my business. Can you give me anybody in the community or just outside the community? I want organic ones, let's say. So they would be a go-to person for you. Less research that you have to do on your own time, the better for you to like be able to move forward. So there is chambers of commerce all over Canada. I actually volunteered for a chamber of commerce here in Ottawa, the Ottawa Board of Trade, as well as when I lived in Timmins, I did as well. There is a portion of the organizations that are just women connection groups as well within the chamber. It does cost money to be a part of that, but in Ottawa, I think there's 1,000 business owners, and they have mayor's breakfast where they bring the latest information in about certain sectors and and the city and what's happening and different improvements that are going on. And you can meet people from businesses, just people who work at organizations like school board, the government. So depending what your business is, you want to do some smart networking. So deciding where exactly you would like to go. There's also Eventbrite. It's not just for personal stuff. There is also workshops, events that are happening, conferences on there. And just remember, anywhere you're going, you can basically professionally network if you get to know somebody enough. Because one of the main questions we asked is, what do you do for a living, right? So then people, oh, I do this, and this is what, oh, this is, I know somebody who does that. You need some help with that, so on and so forth. But for me, what I do usually, because I don't have a lot of time, is I will look at conferences that are coming to my town, and then I'll reach out and see if they need volunteers, if it's interesting to me. So like, for instance, the largest career services conference is coming up in Canada in Ottawa next week. So for the last 3 years, I volunteered there. So I get to go to the workshops. I don't get to pay $400. I get to meet people who actually run the show. I get to see the people who are doing booths over again every year, keep those connections and get to know the latest knowledge that's happening in my sector. So that's only 2 days. And then I get hours because I have to do professional development hours every year for my career development practitioner, which is a part of my business. So it's smart networking as well. Doing smart things. Also investing in yourself and doing any workshops that are basically designated to your organization or business will be helpful too, because you'll have other business owners there who are interested in the same exact sector or thing as you are. So there's meetups too. I'm not sure if you know about that website, but it's more informal, but they have like youth drinks, young professional drinks every 2 weeks, and you can go to that. There's one that I joined that here in Ottawa that was for volleyball, so it didn't cost anything. It was just like random meetup volleyball. Also, if you move to a new city and you're just establishing yourself, it's a good place to be able to just make friends. It's not always easy to integrate yourself into the community as well. So that might be also something that you can do. And they have meetup groups for everything. You want to do that, Jen. Free again. So the forum is an organization that actually has mentorship programs. So it's a free program that you can take part of. They have a financial business workshop as well that is self-directed, that's free. And they do have events that people can go to as well, that's free to attend. So this is the Women in Business Enterprise Canada. What they do is some more workshops, connections. I think there's a mentorship program as well. So in the booklet, I've given you all these links so that you can expand further to look. Alignable is also for business networking, and it's kind of like Facebook, but you can put basically not Facebook, sorry, LinkedIn, but you can put specifically your business. So your business stuff, people can look at it, you can tell them what you do. It's a referral network. People can connect with you on there. So, but it directly business related. It's not just like LinkedIn is professional, people have business stuff on there, but they also have like their professional jobs and stuff that they're doing. this is specific to business owners. I went on it, and it's been helpful. You can also see other businesses that are in your community right down the street that you can connect with and then have coffee with. So it's another at your fingertips kind of thing where you're not having to also if you don't have a lot of time, go to all these networking events in person. So this is a organization also who's just networking all over Canada in different communities in different areas of the cities. They do workshops and things like that as well. But it's looking at the website and seeing if stuff is in your sector, right? Is one of these specific websites specific for you to your sector? I'm giving a lot of them because they all do different stuff. You might look at one and be like, oh, I don't really think this is for me. It doesn't look like my kind of jam with the people and the things that they're doing. Then you just move on. Also, another thing that you can do, like for instance, the forum, there is a membership if you want to do it, or you don't have to. I signed up for the newsletter. So now I'm going to see all kinds of things that are happening. And if I want to do it, I can. And if I don't, I just delete it. So stuff is coming to you. You're not looking for it. And I know too, sometimes our email inboxes get inundated, but sometimes we do see things like, for instance, the prayer newsletter, and you're here today. But those are things that I do to also save myself time. When I find something that I think might be interesting to me, sign up for it. That's what I do. And then if I don't want to later and I'm feeling, oh, this isn't helpful, unsubscribe. But if you don't get yourself into it, you're not going to be exposed to it either. So these are also things too you can follow on your LinkedIn and see what they're posting as well. So when you're going networking, you have to have a plan, have a purpose, a target, a plan. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. So why am I networking? Who am I trying to network with? And how am I going to meet the right people? So if you don't have the answers, it's not too late to get started, people. So it's smart networking as well. It's kind of some of the things that I mentioned before. So how are you going to maximize your time, get the most outcome with going to a certain event? So we're going to look at SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and they are time specific. So what we're going to do today in this little small group time is give you guys some time to look at some goals that you want to make. Yeah, so we're going to stop sharing screen here. And I'm going to pull up something else. Hold on here, everybody. Some reason my little thing is stopped on itself. Don't worry, I don't see now the little thing where you can pick to stop sharing screen. I only see share screen. Share.
Okay, sorry. And you know what? I didn't want to interrupt you, and I probably should have. I guess you had stopped sharing screen before. Do you see
but
the
it's
green
telling me,
but it doesn't say the
hold
share
on,
screen?
everybody.
Or do you want me to share it or?
Okay, just hold on. Oh yeah, I just stopped sharing screen like a couple minutes ago. No, that's not it. Okay. Okay, so this is where we're gonna pull out the book and have a little look at things that are in here. So you see the book, right, Lori? It's happening.
Yes, we could see it.
Okay, great. Yes. If there's at any point when I stop doing something you think I shouldn't have, just let me know. Pipe
Okay.
in there. So this is just my information. Also, feel free to add me on LinkedIn. Feel free also to share in the chat your LinkedIn so everybody can connect together. See how you can work together and just expand your network. So these are the websites that I had on there. entrepreneur groups. This is the one that I told you about Ottawa, just as a reminder that you can look at and maybe like remind yourself, oh, I'm going to look for one in my community. Chamber of Commerce. Okay, so these are some that the Women Business Network is one that I didn't chat about. So I've added some extra ones in here that you can look at also as at your leisure if you want. They're specifically to women. So the Canadian Federation of Business and Professional Women, International Federation of Business and Professional Women. Hey, yeah, so one's for Canada, one's for internationally. I put both of them in case I'm not sure about your businesses if you're wanting to go far out and outside of Canada to get connected with people. This is Femme Professionals is a fun one that is more of like a gathering place for people. Check that out. And then I've added one for Immigrant Entrepreneur Canada that there is. So we're going into SMART goals, people. So I'm gonna give everybody probably 5 minutes. Have a little look at SMART goals. I'm sure that people have heard about them at some points. Looking at today's date, what date do you want to achieve a goal? What is your goal in one sentence? The benefit of achieving this goal will be. So for example, I put attend the Ottawa Board of Trade Mayor's Breakfast. Date, and then time, and then did I do it? So you can make yourself 3 of them. Maybe you're gonna connect to 7 people on LinkedIn and you're gonna reach out to them, and then you're gonna follow up with 3 and see what happens. And you're gonna have people who don't answer. You're gonna have people who say, no, I don't have time to connect with you. If you do that. But if you continue going, somebody will be nice and they will help you and they will talk to you and you might have something great come out of it. So I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes and then I'm going to come back and we're going to share what we're going to do, just one thing. So yeah, take a little bit of time and then we'll share in the large group and yeah, that's what we'll do. So get to it, people. um, So I'm just gonna quickly go through while you guys are still working a little bit on this, is I also added questions to ask while you're networking. Sometimes it's hard to know what you should talk about, but if you pick a few and actually pick ones that you really want to know the answer to when you're talking to people, or that you are really passionate about, or you really have a lot that you know to be able to talk about with that question as well, or how you want to showcase yourself with like a 30-minute or 30-second elevator pitch when you're meeting people and talking to them. That will also be helpful. So you can review that. And then after looking at this too, there you can write down what obstacles and challenges that you might have during this time. You know, you have children, you have I don't know, a sickly mother you might need to help, you have laundry, you have all these things, right? That you continually tell yourself that you have to do, and maybe you don't have time for this thing or that thing. So it's looking at how you will combat those when you tell yourself, I don't have time for this because of this, and this. Um, so uh, we'll quickly go around. There is only a few minutes left, so I'm just gonna go with who I see. So I'll just start with Trisha. So Trisha, if you can come on the mic and just tell us what goal that you decided you're gonna do. Oh, hello
Hi,
outside lady.
thank you. I'm frozen. Headed to an appointment, but it's not really full on networking. I networked with a group of other coaches, and we want to come up with an event to,
Ooh,
I guess, how do you say it? Teach something and make it like an event, and that's sort of another networking to meet clients that might be interested in them and my work. So it's kind of like a different type of networking by teaching and meeting new people.
that's great. Well, in this instance too, you can look at, oh, maybe I can contact these organizations to promote this event, right? Maybe
Yes,
there's a way that we can reach out to other people at the different organization that were shared. And now you know a little bit about LinkedIn and how to get people like on it and looking at it. If you want to post it on there too,
yes.
get people to share. That's great. Thanks so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. It's a good
Thank you.
idea.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay,
All
we'll
right.
move on to Kayla. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
Hi, Shay. Thanks for all the details. Such great information about LinkedIn. I'm scouring through my LinkedIn right now, going through, okay, what do I need to do? Who do I need to add? Here there's so many things. And the testimonials, that was just an aha moment for me because I never really asked people for testimonials for my LinkedIn. So it's just one of those things I do for my business all the time, right? I ask for reviews all the time, but I never think to do it on LinkedIn. So thanks for that tidbit. I took a note to do that. But I think for me, what I want to achieve from the presentation and what you've presented about for my LinkedIn is just growing my connections, right? Like, I mean, I think I've done okay with my connections. I have 500 right now, so maybe doubling that connection from like 500 to 1,000, maybe in between now and like the end of the year. My goal, I think, with that is just to, like you said, for more opportunities. You never know what's gonna come up on LinkedIn. I also do the events for Paro, so just connecting with speakers and different partners, looking at people who maybe want to attend our events, because I share a lot on LinkedIn about our events when they're happening, to promote it, and then of course to connect with sponsors on LinkedIn too. And of course, I think the benefits, just overall, will just be connected with like-minded people who think like me, people who like going to events that I like to go to, a lot of workers, people that I've worked with, whether they're clients or partners or coworkers, and just overall expanding my network and collaborating with people and events and trade shows and new experiences.
You got a lot on your plate. I like it, but just one thing at a time.
I was
Don't
trying to
overwhelm
keep it
yourself
short.
too much. Just one thing at a time. But yes, no, that's you have so many great ideas, and thanks for giving me a little bit of information about the presentation and how it helped you. And that's always good for me to be able to edit things accordingly with what resonated with people. But lots of goals. Start with one. I think it's going to be great. That's we're going to move
The
forward with
one goal
business,
is to grow from 500 to 1,000. That's it.
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. All right. I like it. I like it. Sandra, go ahead.
Hi, yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I learned so much. So yes, I'm with, I'm totally with Kayla on that. The recommendations, who never thought of that, but that's a big plus. But what really touched me was when you mentioned volunteering at trade shows or conventions. Never, ever had I thought of that. So, part of my life is being a co-owner for a cottage rental resort, and there's little fishing boats that we rent out and whatnot. So I am going to touch base with the Outdoor Adventures Trade Show and see if I can volunteer. And I'll be thinking of you, yes, to meet sponsors, more clients, open up a whole new page, I hope. So thank you for that. I never thought of volunteering, but it just makes sense.
And it's free. You don't have to pay for the things.
Right, right. I've been to so many trade shows in my life. It's not even funny, but I'm always the one on the other end. I'm usually the one attending, and then you have to pay to get in. But yeah, good to.
And this way too, it gives you just a branch to not be uncomfortable going to talk to somebody who's like running the show, right? You're just there already. It's natural as well, and they're connected with all those other people, right?
Exactly.
They've signed them up. It will become something that's so beneficial. So that's so great. I love it. I love it.
That was my aha
thing.
moment listening to it. It's like, oh my God. So thank you for that.
Thumbs up. Okay, let's move on to Susan. What are you going to do, Susan? Maybe Susan doesn't have time. Maybe she had to step out for a minute. Well, let's see if she comes back. We'll just let her get on it. Maybe she had to step out. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Okay, so so this is a little bit too about where have you networked? What was one of your most fruitful business opportunities? So just think about that. Who was it with? Where did you meet them? How was it mutually beneficial? Is there more people in that area or that sector that you might be able to duplicate what you actually did with that person somewhere else and for it to be fruitful up there? We had our large group discussion. So that's me. I'm on LinkedIn, everyone. I'm going to share my LinkedIn with you guys so that you can have it essentially. Let's get the chat open here, people. What's happening? I'm sorry about my navigation. This event. I'm not used to using this, as I mentioned. Oh. All right. So. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, lovely. So in this instance, what I'm telling you guys is to like get on it. It's hard to muster up the courage sometimes to reach out to people. But if you don't, nothing will happen. And the worst that can happen is them telling you, no, I don't want to meet you. I don't have time. I'm not interested. Fine, moving on to the next person. You'll find the people who are your cheerleaders and the people that you can also cheer on with their business and help them be fruitful as well. So if you know anybody who needs a panel speaker or is looking for coaching services or a presenter on some of this stuff, feel free to share my information with them. Lori has put in the feedback for evaluations and the presentations, and I really would appreciate that. I always want to know what was good, what wasn't so good, how I can help you more. Even if you want to put in a testimonial, feel free. See my pitching around here, guys? I'm pitching. I'm reminding you. I'm not telling you, but I'm just saying, hey, you could do these things if you want. And people just don't think about them. That's the point. They just don't think about them. And sometimes too, I've given testimonials to other people. They didn't ask me. I was just like, this person really helped me. I'm gonna go give them a testimonial. And it's a small thing, right? It's a small thing. Kayla also shared her LinkedIn in there. Feel free if you want to as well and connect. I'm connected with Kayla and Lori already because we were like coworkers before too. So, but yeah, it's in there, and that's pretty much all the things I have to share with you guys today. That's pretty much it. So back to Lori.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you so much, Kayla, or Kayla, sorry. So, I'm sorry. Thank
You
you
are
so much.
welcome.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
kidding.
Thank you so much, Shay. Really appreciate this. I know that like I started a LinkedIn page, I don't know, for something like we had a presentation, I don't know, like years ago, right? And I started one just like, oh yeah, okay, I'll start it. And I every single day that I keep getting emails, it's stuff on there, and I'm like, I really have to change it because it looks really bad. Anyways, so thank you for that little push. I'm going to do it. It's
Is
just,
that your SMART goal right now? Is that what your
yeah,
SMART goal is going to be?
it should be, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should be your get smart on the goals right now.
yeah, for
Yeah, that
sure.
sounds great. Yeah, you should. You should
Yeah,
definitely do that because it will be helpful. And I think sometimes people just think about LinkedIn as, well, I already have a job. I've worked here for 10 years. That's good enough. I don't need to put this up. But there's so many more things that can happen. It's not necessarily just for jobs. It's for you being able to also connect, share, learn new things, right?
yeah,
And like I
sure.
can't emphasize enough that it's great.
Yeah, I
It's
have
great.
to learn not to be afraid of it and actually put stuff
You
in
can
there
pay if you
because,
want, but
right?
paying it's free.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
So, well,
yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you for the presentation. We'd love to have you back for another topic. So we'll keep in touch. And thanks everybody for joining us today. Really appreciate everyone being here today. So thank you so much, and wishing everybody a really great day.
Thank you, ladies. Thank
Nice
you,
to meet
Shay.
everybody. Yes, have
Thank
a great
you.
day. Lori, would you mind